The Daily Mail now, and following the death of the Queen, yet another Smith song proves prophetic, with the Church of England's first vicar in a tutu.
Wow, quite obscure, but I liked it. So this is the Church of England's first non-binary vicar, and they're called Bingo. And I have to say, I didn't have this on my bingo card for 2023, Simon.
Bingo Allison. It almost feels like a name created to, like, the comic
by the League of Gentlemen or something. Yeah. So yes, exactly. So Bingo has 3 children and a wife who were apparently had a bit of a challenge with this, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And it's
those bigots.
Yeah, I know, and it's a bit of a Schofield moment. We're supposed to celebrate this very beautiful journey, whereas really you've just destroyed your wife's life.
Yeah.
And the Daily Mail sort of buys into it, using they instead of, I would say, he throughout. So
I'm quite sure the Daily Mail is doing this to be deliberately provocative to their readership.
I think the Daily Mail are just lefty. I don't think they're lefty. I don't buy in this idea that he's right-wing. No, I think they're far left.
I don't think they need to try anymore. I think they just report facts now. And facts are just so...
Libs of TikTok style.
Bingo Allison is genderqueer.
Yeah, so
isn't that even in itself, that's quite a...
Yeah.
It's like a newly minted. I'm not going to say
and it means nothing.
We've got to quickly raise the main point, which is the decline of the Church of England. I mean, Bingo has said things like, Jesus loves sparkly eyeshadow, which seems sort of deliberately provocative to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just part of the... And I saw a video where this Bingo person was introducing themselves and saying, like, I'm non-binary, this and that. I was thinking, why do you even need to say that, really? You know what I mean? Like, most vicars wouldn't necessarily start with... It was some sort of trans day of something, but to me it seemed deliberately provocative, and I just think it's part of the ongoing sort of ridiculous decline of the Church of England.
They say that they were inspired by a close reading of the very first few chapters of the Book of Genesis.
Yes, a radical reading.
What could they possibly have seen in that would encourage them to think?
It does say it here, actually.
It's open to interpretation.
Well, apart from anything else, that belongs to the Talmud, that sort of disquisition, doesn't it? It's not for the Church of England to discuss whether the... That's like, you know, you're going back deep into the Hebrew past. The Church of England is fundamentally concerned with the teachings of Christ.
Yeah, probably.
Not like Adam and Eve or, you know, whatever is, you know,
I think
bizarre.
The Church has got very little to do with the Bible anymore. Anybody who actually, you know, sticks fairly closely to the Bible, like GB News' Calvin Robinson, people accuse him. They say you're unchristian. They say you're cosplaying as a vicar or a priest or whatever. Whereas this... Bingo Allison.
There is a popular meme on Twitter where the people post it to somebody who's doing that, where they say, I don't believe in Jesus, but I think if I did believe in Jesus, he would definitely be pro-gay vicars or whatever. And if I say that to you, perhaps I can make you do what I want.
Exactly.
Even though...
No, they don't care. And the other thing, you see the ideological capture. Bingo said Christianity had historically been guilty of prioritising the views of rich, white, straight, cisgender, able-bodied, neurotypical men. Those rich disciples, you know, when it all started off. It's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, what about in, like, Nigeria or Egypt? Are these rich, white... It's just pure nonsense.
Well, there's some great... I mean, some of the world's great literature has, you know, the church kind of intersects. There's a fabulous passage early on in Moby Dick where Ishmael goes to hear a priest preaching about Jonah and the whale, you know. And it's quite clearly like a congregation full of mad, eccentric, crazed whalers, you know. It wasn't a religion for rich white men at that point. These are absolutely desperate men who will probably not return alive from the...
And I've read Moby Dick, but I don't recall that bit because I read it ages before you.
It's very early on. You should get back to it. As you can read it even in an attempt that fails, ultimately, to get through it. It's one of the bits you get to. That and him sharing a bed with Queequeg.